Hi, and welcome to Aqua Occult Tarot. I pulled some cards from the After Tarot deck, and I did a 3-stage progress read where we have a beginning, a middle, and an end of a situation. And I pulled a couple clarifying cards from the Moonology deck as well as the Love and Light Oracle deck. So to start the reading, the first card that popped out was the King of Cups. This king has a cup that he's pouring on the ground. He has a lot to give right now. He's just pretty much pouring out all of his energy into the situation. And the next card I drew is the Tower card, and that's where things get really intense. I've even wrote a note about it. So this is the card of unmistakable transformation. The change is very clear. This is where you're forced to change your ways, and your state of being changes. And in order to get out of this burning tower, both the king and the queen jumped out the window and fell to the ground and died. So this will make more sense as I talk about the rest of the cards. And then the last card I drew for the beginning of the read, the early stages, is the 10 of Pentacles. So we have two people walking away from this King of Cups who's holding a pentacle, and he's hanging out with his friend, the dog. And then we move into stage 2. So to recap quick, stage 1 is a king pouring his energy out. He has 10 of Pentacles, and he and a queen died, and it was going to happen. And there needs to be a healing involved in his life. And in the second transformation, we have that the King of Cups is now appearing as the King of Swords, which means that he's struggling with his voice right now. His messages are not getting across the way he wants it to. He's not making sense. He's so stuck in his head. There's a lack of clarity. He's not thinking properly is the trick. He's upside down right now about the changes. And the next card that follows after is the World card. So he has made a commitment to the journey, and he is about to start a new one. But everything has been divinely guided so far, and he has completed the journey. This King of Swords also is looking to be inspired and create a new project or relationship, or just he wants to be inspired, and he put all of his efforts into something just to have all the dominoes fall, except for the one he's holding. He's really had a lot of disasters happen with the 10 of Wands and the Tower card. Those are both disasters. And there's creative energy flowing. The third tier is where things come to light and the communication problems are fixed and the wands can be picked back up again. So we got the Knight of Pentacles. So now we have this masculine. Now he's taking action. He's getting on a horse and he's going to present one of his coins as a gift, a token of his love to a situation. So we have the situation being the Six of Cups, which is where he's running back home with his loved one, like two little kids without a care in the world together. He's going to present his token to the innocent situation. And this is going to provoke Judgment Day. So we drew the Judgment card, and something is bound to end. It's official. Things will come to light and something will end in order to keep moving forward. And then I pulled the Lover's card, which has a very deep meaning that I'm going to read from the booklet that came with the deck. And last but not least is the Moon card, where everything that has been questionable is now illuminated on the surface, and there will not be anything, no more mysteries. But let's get into the deeper meaning of these cards. I wanted to read the Lover's card out of the deck and talk about the energies that he is creatively inspired to feel right now. And the Lover's card is not easy to find in the booklet right now. I see the star, I see the tower, I see the sun, I see the world. But where is the Lovers? Where is it? I see the Hanged Man, I see the Devil, I see the Hermit, I see the Strength card. I see the Chariot, I see the Lovers. Okay. So right before the Chariot is the Lovers, and the book states, the Lover's card is the card of choices and consequences. It's a card of love, passion, and commitment. But it is also a card of communication and clear thinking. The Lovers, Adam and Eve, stand naked and unashamed in the Garden of Eden. Above the clouds, there's the Archangel Michael. They are about to eat the forbidden fruit together. To clarify further on this love triangle is two cards from the Moonology deck, being communication is key, new moon in Gemini, whenever that may be, and the blue moon, believe in the impossible. So this is a series of trials that a masculine has gone through in the past to find his true love, because apparently it wasn't obvious to begin with. So now there is some judgment day with the lovers, and he is going to figure out who he wants to run home with, and he's going to give that person his final token of his love. And there are no more secrets at this point, and this will be the outcome. And he's ready to start the new path, but I want to say he's sick right now. He's not thinking clearly, but he will soon. And it all started with a crash and an explosion, which is typically a very exciting relationship. But usually relationships start the same way they end. So if you start off a relationship with a lot of intense energy, it usually fades in the same intensity. There's the other scenario where if you meet someone and casually date, then you casually fall out of contact as well. I believe this Ace of Wands card clarifies that. And I'm nervous because something will come to light with the lovers and judgment, and it's the twin flame union coming together after all of this time, all of the journey. And something to be patient about is the journey and this man's different moods during the stages, because you see him starting off, he has 3 looks. He's the King of Cups. He's cool, he's rich, he's loving, he's a chill person. He has a lot to give, very loving. And then he goes into thinking upside down and not making any sense to anyone whatsoever, because he doesn't even understand himself. And then he goes into a slow burn, slow magic, slow action type of progress, where he's the slowest moving knight in the deck. But nevertheless, he does go get on that horse sometimes, and he will present a token of his love, which I said 3 times, I believe, so far. So there really will be a present to the rightful lover, the person he wants to eat the forbidden fruit with. He will know who that person is, who he ate the forbidden fruit with. For better or for worse, he has an Eve, and there's temptation surrounded by all of us, and sometimes it's hard to understand what is real and what is temptation. But this will be shown in the next blue moon. So I would have to say about 2 weeks, we might see some very serious progress, but don't be serious all the time, because it's just tarot cards. And I'm really low to the ground right now. I'm feeling really solid in my foundation. But I also drew some really positive, inspiring love and light oracle cards from this deck that I barely use because it has a bunch of Christian symbology. So let's read the cards that I drew for the inspiration that could possibly help the messages of tonight's reading with this beautiful candle with 3 wicks. So the first card I drew is the gift of love and light. And then the loving strength and discernment. It says, I am not trying to win the approval of people, but God. If pleasing people were my God, I would not be Christ's servant. We have walk away from illusions and toward the truth, clarified. This is what's happening. Show me the right path. And with God, with himself, with the Spirit, all things are possible. It says to have faith and to trust the journey, although it might be happening at his pace. We're supposed to trust his journey. And the gift of love and light, he has this gift and he will gift it as well. And using loving strength and discernment, he needs to win the approval of God, not people. He needs to rely on his own judgment for this, of course, with the judgment card, to possibly, one of the things that sticks out so much is he needs to fix his communication issues. This has been mentioned a couple of times in the reading as well. We have communication is key. New moon in Gemini. This is a card I took a lot of notes on because it's very interesting in the book. But we have new moon Gemini. It's success. It means he will have the successful relationship that he desires with communication. It says, talking things through. Oh, this is very confusing. It's if he thinks about questions, then why doesn't he just talk to that person that he has questions about instead of questioning it all the time? If you can't talk to that person, then like, what are you even doing? If issues concern a sibling or a neighbor, it's time to wipe the slate clean and start over. This is a sign that says he needs to communicate. He needs to feel and he needs to get out of his head. And it's a sign that someone is flirting with him. He needs to write down a list of the people he loves and see how he prioritizes them. And holy shit, just... This was all on page 46. So there's a lot of good things coming in this man's life. It's really taken 12 cards to get to the end of the journey for him. 12 cards. I'm going to title this video 12 card tarot read. And I wonder what it feels like to receive the gift of love and light from someone. And it's always good to try to remain positive, even though the situation is in the process of being published. And the After Tarot deck is a tarot deck where it's one step after the card happens. So you get a combination of the current card as well as what would essentially come after. I think it's really fitting for this twin flame reading. Although this reading is mostly about the masculine, it's very clear that there is a twin flame feminine involved in the reading that he has, that he wants to be with in a childlike way. And regardless of everything, there will be that new start to the journey. And communication is key when he's ready to communicate, because we know this masculine communicates a lot. It's all about writing down the list of people that he loves. How often does he communicate with these people? That's important, that people know you think about them. And somewhere in his past, he was very, 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 very successful, despite having a dead queen next to him. They both had to jump out of the tower to flee the flames to their fiery death on the ground. He died with someone in the past. A situation just died, and it was good for him. It didn't harm him in any way. He had so much to give constantly. He was the King of Cups and he has the 10 of Pentacles. But for some reason, there was just a tower moment surrounding, or not surrounding, but just in the middle of the 3 cards that I pulled for the beginning of the beginning, middle, and end. So at the beginning, things were chaotic, but things made him who he was. And he felt a lot more back then. He really did have feelings, but he changed to be the King of Swords upside down. So totally different energy, like Scorpio to Cancer. And he had a new beginning, but it's going to do it again. And this time it's going to be with more creativity and hopefully not drop all of your sticks on the ground. He really wants to find something he can be proud of. Really, really, really proud. He needs it to work. Because we have the Ace of Wands, which is the new offer. And then we have the 10 of Wands, which is saying that it didn't work out. And then he goes into the stage of his life where he wants to come clean and run away with someone that he can fall in love with. And for better or for worse, he will call this person, his lover, it won't be easy. And something will end. It's never easy. Losing something that you used to, that you invested so much energy into, just to have it recycle in some way. And he seems to have lost a lot of his energy in the process of maturing. He's now a pentacle, like a knight of pentacles. He's a little bit lighter in energy, and he's a little faster than he used to be. But he's coming in steady, slow and steady. And he will communicate better, and he will believe in the impossible. And he's giving it up to God at this point. It's something, he already made up his mind. It's who he feels. It's the two people in this card. They're running back home to mom. Who can he run back home to mom with? That's the person he's going to marry with the Lovers card. And anything's possible. It's true. So that's what I was saying, is try to stay optimistic, because maybe it could turn out better than expected. And it's good that he finally realizes that he is only here to impress the spirit, the creator of all of us. He's not here now to impress other people. His ego has diminished a lot in the process, and now he's doing what feels right. It's about going home in this reading and walking away from illusion and toward the truth, which will be revealed on the blue moon. And the new moon in Gemini, communication is key. And that is it for the tarot read. We'll see what happens, and I will be an owl and post a video hopefully tomorrow. So I'll see you then, and have a good day.